Here we go. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And here's Chef Dave.
Hey, guys. Chef Dave here. How you doing? Okay, today we're going to do a few things, Cinco de Mayo kind of stuff. We're going to do an avocado salsa. We're going to do a chicken empanada. And we're going to do churros. Now, some of the things I've done in advance, some of the things I'll do here. Because, you know, it's like watching paint dry. It just takes too long sometimes. But anyway, the avocado salsa. Got a couple of nice avocados here. Okay.
Is there something you should look for when buying an avocado?
Look, you don't want one that's really soft, and you don't want it really mushy. You want it a little firm, you know, and so it's nice and clean on the inside like that. Okay, this is a nice one. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to smash that into my bowl, because this is a salsa. Let's see if I can do the hoop. Yes. Now, you can grow these avocado seeds if you want to, but your soil has to be continuously above 70 degrees Fahrenheit in order for them to grow, because what you do, put toothpicks on them over a glass of water and they'll start rooting, pointy side up, okay? Okay, so we got the avocado here, nice fresh avocado, a little bit firm, but it's good. It has a nice attitude. This is the fun part, get your hands all messy, it's great. Okay, and now we'll go through the other ingredients in there. I've got some diced tomatoes. What I've done with these tomatoes, a large pot of boiling water with some salt in them. Put the tomatoes in about 30 seconds and then into ice cold water, and that takes the skin off. And if you take the skin off, you got seedless, skinless tomatoes, which are nice. That will go in there. Jalapenos. See how hot they are. Sometimes jalapenos are very sneaky. Sometimes they can light you up. Sometimes. Okay, where's the heat? This is a sissy jalapeno. Okay, it doesn't have any heat in it.
I'm a sissy hot eater.
Here, and you'll be fine with this. The flavor is nice. Jalapeno, corn, diced onions, and garlic. I put it all in one thing. Some lemon juice, lime juice, I'm sorry. Cumin. A lot of times, sometimes I'll take the cumin seeds and I'll put them in a pan and roast them. You try this sometimes. Take the cumin seeds into a dry saute pan, just cook them a little bit, and when they get ready, they'll pop, they'll jump, take them off, and then put them into a spice grinder. The difference in flavor is phenomenal. And I'll be honest with you, I cheated. I didn't buy fresh cilantro. I got the dried cilantro because I only needed a little itty bitty bit of cilantro today. And I didn't want to buy a whole great big part and then wind up wasting it. A little bit of pepper and a little bit of sea salt. Not too much. And then that's the hard part right here. Just mixing it all up. Okay. This is a very nice, colorful, fresh salsa. It's got some chunks and some attitude in there. You can add anything to it you want. You can add more hot sauce to it to make it spicier if you want to. Again, we're not making it too spicy today. We're just kind of keeping it mild and happy. But very flavorful, a really nice, colorful dish. The avocados just want to chop up a little bit. And that works out nice. And usually you'll serve those with chips. Put that in here. Before we go too far with this, let's taste to see if we have enough seasoning. Yes, we do. We're fine. Now, the nice thing about this avocado salsa, like spaghetti sauce, always tastes better the next day. And because you have the acid from the lime juice, you can make it a day in advance, pack it down, keep it airtight, and it will last overnight in your refrigerator. The flavor will be nice the next day for you as well. So that also works. Okay. It always helps when you plug it in. There you go. The next thing I'm going to make real quick is some of the empanadas. I'll put that over here. Okay. Turn this on as well and get that started. This is the oil from Trotos. Very slowly heat that up. Over here, we've got the empanadas. Now, what I've done ahead of time, I've made some empanadas for us. Okay, these are ready. They need to be egg washed. Now, the recipe is interesting for this. You take your chicken thighs and you simmer them, and then you have a leftover stock. Well, your leftover stock doesn't go to waste because it goes into some of the empanada dough if you make it yourself. It also goes into the mix. So it's not wasted. So don't think it is. Yep. So you got your chicken thighs, a little bay leaf in there, and then onions, peppers, olives. You got the Castelvantro olives, which are like an Italian olive, which are really nice. Ready to taste going. They do that. They do that at the what you call it? Who does that?
The hibachi place. Yeah.
They do that. That's always fun.
I always get it.
I'm not that good. You know, I always remember watching a Sesame Street thing with my kids one time, and they had a Grouch hotel or restaurant there, and they did a tossed salad. They put it into a small catapult and toss it out into the dining room. I always wanted to do that. You know, so we're getting a little heat here. Peppers, little onions. Have the mix you made as well. Okay. So this is what the mixture looks like when it's finished, and that's what's inside of this. This will be my dinner tonight. Okay. There's a couple things you want to do. You want to cook this, give it just a little bit of a color. Now, the fumes aren't getting to you, are they? You all right? Okay. Okay. A little bit of color on this. Now, there's a technique. You have to add tomato paste to this as well. We put our garlic in. Okay. Tomato paste. And what you need to do to really bring out the flavor is a term called Pince, P-I-N-C, with a little over the E, okay, at the end, Pince. And now what you do is caramelizing the tomato paste. So we'll put that tomato paste in, and you just brown that off a little bit in your pan. And that really helps to develop the flavor big time, okay? And you can make sure you buy a good quality tomato paste. There's all different qualities out there. I remember many years ago, I was in the industry, a supplier came to me and he was trying to say, well, how much are you paying for your tomato paste? I said, oh, I think what, $29 a case. Well, I can do it for 24. Same brand, well, no, it's a different brand. I said, well, what's the specific weight or velocity of the tomato paste? Huh? How thick is it? Open up, oh, here's a can, open up, pour it out like tomato sauce. I don't think so. And then our chicken goes in there. Start pushing all around. See that the color is starting to develop, the flavors are starting to develop nicely. I've got a little bit of paprika goes in here. And it's not on your recipe, but I like putting a little chipotle pepper in there. Just tickle, just to give it a little bit of love. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. Not too much salt. Just a tiny bit. I can remember in England, some of the cooks out there, oh, not enough flavor in. Throw some more salt in. Throw some more salt. That'll bring the flavor out. Okay. Now, a couple of neat things will happen with this. This will actually thicken up naturally by itself. Look at it, all that grease stayed on the outside of the pan with cold. Okay, it'll thicken up a little bit because the tomato paste will suck up the moisture and thicken it up. And you just give that a little bit of stir. Okay. And what you want to do, you want to take this and take it all the way down and dry it back out. Okay. And when you make your empanadas, please don't try using a hot mixture to put it into the dough, because it's not going to work. Refrigerate it. And this can actually be refrigerated. It can be frozen and kept for a later day if you want to. If you freeze it, I would suggest put it into an airtight container, Ziploc bag or container. If you use a Zippy lock like this to flatten it out and freeze it, that way it freezes quick. Okay. You will turn that down really, really low. That do its low thing. Okay, and that's almost ready to go. Okay, so that's the empanada mix, which works out really nice. This is the part I like. That works. All right. Now, sometimes when you make your empanadas, you might have a little bit left over. So we have options, don't we? You know, I bought all these cute, adorable little peppers. Here for now. Cute, adorable peppers. Give me a reason why you can't. Take your pepper, cut it in half. Take out the stem and the seeds. Yeah, I don't use the same spoon twice. You can actually take the mix, stuff it in your peppers, like that. And if you want to, you can cook these, roast these off as well. Okay. I'll put those in the pans with the empanadas. We'll go in the oven in a minute. The dough, as I said, I rolled this out. The empanada dough is really simple. If you're making a large batch of it, I would highly suggest doing the food processor. Makes life so much easier because you put your flour in there. Okay, you put your salt and you pinch your sugar and your baking powder and your butter or lard. Lard works really good too. I didn't have lard, so I'm using butter. Okay, then you put the paddle on it and just let it stir around and let it get all together. Then you take some of your cold chicken stock and an egg, mix it together, all right? And then into the machine, let the dough to roll around to get a nice dough ball. Take it out, work it a couple of times, get your elbows going. You wrap it with plastic and put it in the refrigerator and let it rest for half an hour or so. Or if you want to, like I did overnight, it will keep overnight, no problem. Over here, I've started actually the liquid for the churros. So we're multitasking over here. Let's hope we don't make a mess. Okay, here's the circles. The nice thing about the little cutter I have, here's a little cutter. You get all kinds of different sizes. This is one variety. You can get metal ones, stainless steel, aluminum, plastic, whatever you want. It works pretty cool. You roll out your dough and you make your circles. All right? And you take your circle, as they shrink a little bit, put it into your mold. A tablespoon or so of mix this size into it. And then close it over. If it works, it didn't work, it's stuck. I hate that when it happens. It's stuck. Well, hey, live TV, everything got messed up. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll put it down like this. We'll put our mix in there. I should have put some flour on there. I didn't. I do have some flour. A little mix in there. We'll do it the way the street vendors do it. You bring it over. Egg wash here. The egg wash around it. Put it over.
But isn't filling it up more better?
Huh?
Filling it up more better.
Well, if you fill it up too much, it'll explode. you know, it won't cook nicely. Your forks are,
Yeah.
I remembered, all right. And you take a fork and you put your little marks around it like this. And then you get a empanada that way. Make sure you dust that with flour so they don't stick. Okay. So we're gonna take these and do the egg wash thing. Very simple. Preheated oven, 375. Now these these empanadas, you can also deep fry if you want to. I'm not deep frying them. We're doing the churros deep fried, so that's enough fried food for the day. Set those. Somebody set a timer for about 10 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. The churros, the mixture itself. What I've done is I've put my water, measured out water, a little vanilla, and a tinge of salt in there.
Oh, Dave, what's in your last column here on the empanadas? Is that for a smaller yield?
Huh?
You got the numbers here. That's half.
Yeah, that's a smaller batch, yes. Yeah, our measured flour goes into the pan, and you don't want dumplings now, so you gotta be careful with it. Turn it back on. Heat there. One thing about a whisk, it has its limitations. Okay. Like this. Okay, the mixture. Now you may be thinking to yourself, this is very similar to a choux pastry, and it is in a sense like a choux pastry. It's not as rich. You don't have as much butter in here. You don't have as many eggs in here either. So the recipe is a little bit different. You just back and forth a little bit until you're just tiny sizzle. All right, and then it's off. Now the important thing is to let this cool a little bit. Now if I was making a large batch of this, I would put it into a big mixing machine with the paddle. I let the paddle beat some air into it and cool it off a little bit. Okay, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. I made this when I was in England, in the kitchens over there. We didn't have the mixing machines. We had elbow power. Everything was done that way. Yeah. You know, the pastry shop had a really big mixing machine that would be little fruitless for something this small. Okay. And 1 egg. And the reason you want that cooled off a little bit is if you put that egg in there and it's too hot, that egg's going to cook straight away and you'll lose everything you're trying to gain. So it's a little weird looking. So the egg incorporates. And pretty much that's what you're looking for right there. A nice doughy dough. Like I got these gloves on, so it's okay. Doesn't hurt. And that's the dough. That's your chorizo dough, churros dough. Okay, we'll give this a little more giddy up go. Let's see what I've done here. The dough that I made yesterday, I put into a piping bag, and the piping bag's still there. Yes, it's still there. A little star tip in it. Okay. Now, this is hard to work when it's cold. That's another reason why you don't want to do it too cold. You really put a hurting on your hands squeezing it. Let's see how this is. Is that hot enough yet? Do we have You can hear it over there? Okay, good. I'm gonna do the shuttle. Pipe it out a little bit, cut it off. Take off a little bit and cut it off. Take off a little bit and cut it off. Your recipe says you can use scissors if you want. Well, I guess you can if you want to. I'm not gonna stop you. You know, I mean, you have options, you have choices. The churro dough, really simple to make. My wife says, you don't bring me home some churros, you're in trouble. I'll make a fresh batch. We'll have churros for dinner tonight. Okay. How these guys? You're oven slow.
5 minutes left on the timer still.
Yeah, it's a slow oven too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna change it up to. Okay, see if we get a little more heat in there. Okay, the fun part with the churros is taking out. I'm gonna swipe a few paper towels if I may, please.
Mhm.
Usually they flip over when one side's ready, they'll flip over to the other side. Usually. It's not 100% guaranteed.
So for the vegetable oil, you put down as needed.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, I'm using vegetable oil. I've got probably a couple of pints in here. You know, it depends. You want it deep enough so your product will fry in it, but not so deep that if it does fry, it doesn't boil over. So that's why I always use an extra large pot. Never use a small pot for something like this. I always have a little bit of extra wiggle room, because if this thing boils over, it catches fire, you got yourself a serious problem. Now the fun part, you can see that okay? A little bit of cinnamon sugar into here. Okay, we're getting there. Make a few more because there's always room for dessert, right? You can't really see from there, but this does boil up a little bit. Another reason why I've got a deeper pot for safety point of view. You don't want Hogan's Finest here to help you out. You know. I'll get one more out of there before I run out. And they're starting, getting closer. Good. Air fryers work really good for the empanadas if it's large enough. Convection oven works really good too. It gets it going a little faster. I don't have a convection oven at home. There are times I wish I did, but it's okay. I can live with that.
Are you gonna make these chocolate dipping sauce?
The chocolate dipping sauce. The chocolate dipping sauce is really a no-brainer. Heavy cream, chocolate chips, some cinnamon, okay, and sugar. So what I've done, I made that in advance. I'll just warm it up a little bit. Your recipe says take your cream and boil it. Put your chocolate chips into a mixing bowl. That's cool. But you know something? I'm lazy. I don't like washing a lot of pots and pans. So I'll boil my cream, take it off the boil, then pour my chocolate chips into it, and then stir it until they dissolve. That way I only have one pan to wash up instead of two. And you don't waste the chocolate. Okay. You can use chocolate chips, you can use any quality chocolate you want. I had chocolate chips, that's what I used, and they work just fine.
Your 10 minutes are up.
Okay. This is not a convection oven. Give me 10 more.
Got it.
Okay. Put some more cinnamon on top of this. All right.
Does that piping bag have an attachment on top to make the shape, or that's how it comes?
No, the piping bag is it's a plain piping bag, and I have a star tube in it.
You put a star tube in?
Yes, put a star tube in it. Okay, you can do it plain if you want to. The star tube gives it a little nicer appeal, I think.
It's usually how you see them, isn't it? With
Yes.
the ridges.
With the ridges. Yeah. And this is the part I like. Oh yeah. If you like, you can start on the salsa. Okay.
The salsa to the camera.
And it's starting to color. Now what are we gonna do with this? We're gonna look the other way because we didn't see it. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes you're the windscreen. It doesn't always work out perfectly. I should have put some flour on there and I did not. So that's my fault. See, stuffed it with flour. And you have more success with it. Are there any questions? You all right over there?
Look at my house.
Hey, you guys in wonderful electron land. Any questions that you have? Are they saying something to me?
They're both on mute.
Okay,
Should
good.
we take the dessert too?
Yeah, go ahead. You take dessert too. If you have any questions, you have my email address down the bottom of the recipe package. Please feel free to shoot me an email, and if I can get back to you in a respectable period of time, usually the same day.
And the chocolate sauce. That's a lot of chocolate sauce.
You need a spoon for the chocolate sauce?
Yes.
You need a thingy for the churros?
Sure.
Yeah, cut it out. There we go. Yeah, that's it. If you have no questions, we're gonna sit and eat. You guys have a wonderful day. As I say, please don't be shy to send me an email if you have any questions or comments. I'm always there for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.